I don't know, man. It just feels safe. Like you're walking around at night on the street and there's no one loitering, there's no one pissing about, there's no one drunk. People just seem to, and I only know it at face value because I haven't lived there for long at all, but I don't know, it just feels like people behave themselves, like people aren't going to fuck around, like it just feels safe.
You know what? I feel like I know. Was it Norway? At least
Mm.
they have a very safe system in place. They have high taxes. However, the government also uses those taxes to support everyone fully.
Yeah.
And it might be Norway or it might be Denmark. I can't remember which. However, they have oil fields and they use that oil money and they pump it back into the peoples. And through that, there's no like lower class for better or worse. And that helps keep everyone safe because if you've got money, you've not got a reason to go into crime. Like, oh, I can afford to look after myself. I can afford to help my family. Why would you start looking into crime, looking to getting money from anywhere else?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like,
That's probably something we're missing in this country.
yeah, like if you fix the foundations, then you're not going to have, like, you go into the root of the problem.
Yeah.
You know, making sure people have in their development stage of their life what they need to survive, right? People get desperate when they've not got the right.
Not even the development stage, because you've got people from great backgrounds who end up at the bottom,
Okay.
and people from the bottom who work their way to the top. It's having that foundation higher than the bottom.
Yeah. The
And
bottom
making
becomes
sure
a
that
new,
no one goes through that foundation.
yeah, the bottom becomes a new bottom,
Yeah.
which is actually the middle. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
It's quite a nice level. You know, at the very least, you are going to have a decent job, which more than pays enough that you need to survive, and you're going to have a little bit of free time to do what you want to do. And we're going to have things in the country available for you to do, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, but that they're going back to Dubai. Like, there's a lot of people who work in Dubai because they get paid a lot more, and then they go back to their home countries after like 10 years, and then obviously they've got a load of money saved up for their families. But these people will work as taxi drivers, hotel workers, and even construction workers, and they will not see their families for like 10 years.
It's no different here, man. You have people coming to the UK and working those bottom of the barrel jobs, if you like. I think we talked about it recently as well. Like, most of our lower economy is made up of immigrants, which is really bad. But the money they get from doing those jobs is so much more than if they'd stayed in their home country.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's money they can save and send back to the families and make a better future for their families.
It's such a nice like thing that they're doing, but it's a shame, in my opinion, that they have to do that. Like, why should someone have to be away from their family for so long just to give them a good life? You know, like
It is, but it's also a shame that people look down on them. Like, you're an immigrant, what the fuck are you doing in my country? It's like, well, you know what?
I'm doing the shit. That
If
you
you're
can't be asked
thinking
to
like
do.
that, fuck you.
Yeah, literally.
They're trying to better not only themselves, but their entire family.
Exactly. They're trying to better themselves. What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
You're just sitting around complaining. You know, what are you doing to better your situation? At least these people are proactive. You know?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. And it's our fault because if we're not good enough, if we're allowing jobs to go to people who aren't residents here, then obviously in the long run we're losing money as a country because money's going out of the country because it's going to support families in other countries. And that's fair fucking play if we're shit.
Not only that,
we should be better. We shouldn't be blaming people. We should ask ourselves. We should be blaming ourselves. Why are we not?
not only
better?
that, we have a massive benefit system of people just being like, yeah, I don't want to be a cleaner, so I'm not going to do it.
You're just not
So
gonna do
someone
anything.
else comes in and does it for
Yeah.
them, essentially, and they just take money from the taxpayer.
Yeah. No.
And it is a bit shit, and I think we need to change our mindset on that.
Yeah. It's all
Like,
about.
it's
all about
not-
mindset.
It's not bad being a cleaner.
Not
Right?
at all.
If you're a cleaner and you're providing for your family, that is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It is a skill. It is a service. You have to be particular and detailed to do a good job. And someone's got to do it, you know. And
well, exactly. Someone's got to do it.
yeah, like what would you rather? Oh, I work, I support my family, or I sit around all day, like mooching off the system to half support my family. Like it's a lot more honourable,
Yeah.
you know. And I think in other countries they are a lot more honourable as people, and there's a lot, you know, like oh, I'm responsible for my family, I've got to provide for them. Whereas here it's oh, the state will provide, and it's
But here's the thing: even if you're working one of these quotation mark bottom of the barrel jobs, if you're not getting enough to provide what you need, you've still got support. You know, they're not just like, oh, you've got a job, we're not going to give you any extra money. No, they will be like, all right, you're working, that's great, and this is what you're on. However, we can see that for a average living wage, you would need this much extra.
yeah.
And the government has that money available for you to take, so that you don't, you know, have a shit living standard, so that you can be above the poverty line.
Yeah. But the poverty line, like you said before, should be raised in itself.
Yeah, it should. It really should.